Well, my garlic is all cured, ready to store, and today I'm going to show you my favorite way to store garlic, and that is to braid it. So we're going to get right into it. All right, so before we get started on braiding garlic, it's pretty easy, pretty simple process. What I've done here is I've just taken my garlic and I've separated out by size. So these are my larger cloves over here. These are my smaller ones over here. I've already taken the garlic out that I'm going to be planting for next year and stored it away. So it's not part of this. It's going to be planted here in a couple of months. Let me talk to you about the differences in garlic though. I'll show you how to braid. Well, it's not really braiding with hard neck garlic, but we'll get into that here in a minute. I'll show you how to take care of that here in just a minute. But right now we're working with soft neck garlic. Two different types of garlic here. There's hard neck garlic. This is, or stiff neck garlic is what it's called. This is stiff neck garlic, and you can tell, it's stiff. You can't really, it's not flexible. This is soft neck garlic, and you can probably tell it's flexible. So soft neck garlic is the kind you want to braid. Let me move this one off to the side here. Here, we'll put it over there for now, because I'll get to that here in just a few minutes. There is a way to kind of braid hard neck garlic as well. We'll get into that in here in a minute. First thing I got to do is trim off these roots, off all these heads of garlic, and just kind of brush the dirt off. I don't really want to wash them. I don't care if there's some dirt on them. I'll wash them before I take care of them. So let me get that done real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how we get going here. All right, so I've got all my garlic cleaned up. Well, as much as I'm going to clean it up, I'm not going to bother with getting every little speck of dirt off of it. It's not going to be sparkling clean. Brushed off what I could, but there's still some dirt. Oh well. Got all the roots trimmed off anyway. So basically, I'm going to take 3 pieces of garlic. You want your center piece to be a little bit bigger than the other 2. Just tie them together, basically. Let me get these on here. This needs to set flat. But again, you want your center piece of garlic to be just a little taller than the other 2. Stick out just a little more. There we go, that's good enough. Trim off these strings. Probably don't need to, they'll be hidden anyway, but we'll go ahead and get them trimmed off. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my bigger pieces of garlic. Well, here, before I get started on that, this is going to be very much like braiding. If you braid hair, if you braid rope, any of that kind of stuff, it's the same concept. You've got 3 strands. We're going to be braiding them. This one goes over this one, that one goes over that one, and then you just back and forth. It'll make more sense as we go along. But before we start that braiding process, we're going to take a larger piece of garlic. That's going to go right here in the middle, so that it goes right down the middle. This becomes one strand. And then I'm going to start from left, and I'm going to go over, and that left piece now becomes my new middle strand. So then I need a smaller piece of garlic. That's going to go right here on the right hand side, and that's going to become my middle strand. It's going to go right up the middle. Every time you add a piece of garlic, you're going to add it to the middle. So I've got 2 strands on this side, 2 strands in the middle, 1 on this side. That becomes the middle. And we need another piece of smaller garlic to go on this side right here. And again, it goes right down the middle. So keep these together and keep them tight. Now we're ready to go from here to the middle, left to the middle. That's going to be my new middle strand. We need a larger piece of garlic. It's always going to go in the middle because we're back to the middle. And then, which way did I go before? That came over the middle. Got lost here. So then we're going this way. And then again, a smaller piece of garlic. We're going to add that right there on the side. That becomes the middle piece. We fold this one over. I'm losing track here what I'm doing. That's not right. We want to add this on this side. There we go. It's not really that complex. You can just kind of see where you're at. I don't know if this is making sense or not, but I had one on this side already, so it's this turn. So we're going to go right down the middle with this one. And then we braid over left to right. And then we go on the other side. That becomes the middle strand. We braid. Which direction am I going with it? Braid this way. And then a larger piece. There we go. Right down the middle. And you just keep doing this all the way down. So I'll show you how to finish it off here in just a second. All right, so I'm pretty much done with my braid. I didn't have real big garlic this year, so it's not the prettiest braid ever, but it works. So what I do is at the top here is just braid a few more times. And I do have some garlic left over, but this is tiny stuff. It doesn't braid in very well, so I'm just gonna leave it out. So just braid it a couple more times up at the top, so you've got a little bit of a, just a little bit extra at the top there. I'm gonna get some of this stuff out of the way. Get myself a piece of string here so I can tie this off. And then what I'm going to do is just tie it. I'm going to tie it down here real close to this garlic. Whoops. Then I'll turn the whole thing over, wrap it around to the back side, and put a loop in it so it can be hung up. Let me do that real quick. Actually, let me just tie another knot here. That's the easiest way to do it. And then we'll put, probably right there is good. That'll hang on a knot or something, or a screw or something, nail in the wall, whatever. Trim off some of this excess we don't need. And there we go. We've got a garlic braid. I'm going to trim off a lot of this top stuff because, well, it's just too much. There we go. That'll work. So now we've got a garlic braid. I can just hang that from the counter, clean it up just a little bit. So I don't have these things hanging out all over the place. There we go. And that's pretty easy actually. So I can hang that on a screw in the kitchen whenever you need some garlic. Well, let me get that down in camera here. There we go. Hopefully you can see it. Sorry, I was way off camera, wasn't I? So there we go. There's a garlic braid. Got a little knot here in the back. I can just hang on a loop in the kitchen, go by, snip off a piece of garlic whenever I need it. And this stores for a good long time. This is my favorite way to store garlic. Soft neck garlic, really easy to do this way. Let me go get the hard neck garlic. I'll show you. There's a little bit different technique you use for hard neck garlic, but we'll do basically the same thing. Now these little bitty pieces of garlic like this, I'm just going to trim the, I mean that's tiny, there's nothing to it. I'm going to trim the stems off of that and we'll just put that in a jar and use that up first. It doesn't tend to braid very well when you've got these different big sizes of garlic in there. Works better when your garlic's a little bit more uniform. So let me clean up this mess, go get the hard neck garlic, and then we'll show you how to do something very similar with it. It doesn't braid the same way, but it does, you can form a, kind of a braid with it, and I'll show you how that's done. All right, so the hard neck garlic's a little bit, well, it's not hard neck, it's stiff neck. I keep calling it hard neck, but it's stiff neck garlic. Anyway, it's a little bit different. It's, to me, I know you can actually braid this stuff. You can go through and break the stems up and make them kind of more flexible, but to me that's a lot of work and it just never comes out that good. They always look kind of clunky, kind of, I don't know, they're not flexible like the soft neck garlic is. So we're going to do this a little bit different. It's actually a little bit easier. I don't know, you might be able to do this method with soft neck garlic as well. Let me find the end of my string. There we go. So I've got three heads of garlic here. And you got to love this stiff neck garlic. It just, you get this soft paper on the outside that just peels away. And, you know, when you first pull it out of the ground, there's a good example. Like, it's loose. And you want to take off that loose covering, because otherwise it'll just flake off and it'll look nasty later. But it comes out so nice and clean, you know, it just looks beautiful. So works great. So anyway, 3 heads of garlic, same kind of thing. I'm going to use 3 bigger heads of garlic. Place one in the middle, the other 2 right there by it. Take my string, wrap it around. Get these situated where I want them, and then I'm just going to tie I'm gonna tie a double half hitch and cinch it down around there. Tie these off pretty tight. If I can get my string to cooperate with me, I will. Okay, get these all lined up where I want them. And then tie them off pretty tight, and I'm going to wrap the string around a couple of times pretty good and tight to make sure it stays in place. And then it's just a matter of repeating that process. Put one, and I do these in groups of 3s. So 2, and get roughly the same size pieces of garlic. 3, put them right there. I think that'll work. That looks pretty good. And then just wrap the string around pretty tight. And give it about 3 wraps on each piece of each new section of garlic I put in there. So let's start. Let's get another one. Yeah, that one looks a little better. So that one goes in the middle. One on the side. Right there probably. One on this side. Looks like right there's a good spot for it. And again, pull that string pretty tight when you do it. And then we're just going to work our way down. Let's see. There's another one, can go right there. Another one can go right there. I've been growing this stiff-neck garlic for several years and selecting out the ones that are the best ones every year, so it just keeps getting better and better. These are much better cloves of garlic than that soft-neck garlic's first year I grew it. These are much, much better looking cloves than the soft neck garlic. And just, I don't know, it just grows a little bit bigger. To me, it just looks a little bit prettier. I like it better. All right. Now I'm sure that soft neck garlic will get better as time goes on, but let me get some of these done here, and then I'll come back and talk to you. You don't need to watch me do every one of them. It's the same process all the way down. Just add them in groups of 3 and tie them off real good. All right, so I've reached the end of my braid, I guess you would call it, my tying or whatever. So now I need to tie this thing off. So I'm going to get out a little bit of extra string here. And it's probably more than enough. I'm going to wrap it around just a couple of extra times here at the end. Just make sure that's good and secure. Okay, so I'm paying a little bit more attention to where my rope is laying as I'm wrapping this up in the end, because this is the part that's going to be seen. And you know, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty nice right there, wrapping it around, but I want to make sure my rope's kind of laying up next to each, right alongside, not crisscross and not looking all ugly. Just a little bit cleaner. Take off some of this stuff here we don't need. Just, I don't know, 3 or 4 more wraps, that's about all I need. And then I'm going to tie it off. So in tying it off, if I can do it, we'll see. Turn it over on the back. There we go. All right, let's see, where's my last tie? There it is. Okay, so to tie it off, it's just going to be basically, I'm going to run the rope underneath there. More or less a clove hitch is what I'm tying on here, if that makes sense. There's the first loop of my clove hitch. We'll do one more. It's just basically 2 half hitches is what it is, right on top of each other. And that should hold it. So now I need to, I think I'll go right up here. Maybe put I don't know, let's see. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look bad at all. I should have used jute twine. It would have blended in with this stuff a little bit better, but that's okay. What I'll do is I'll set it down, make sure I get in the middle where I want it to be. I'll just tie around the back handful of these, see if I can fish the line through there, tie around those and make a loop so I can hang it. Which may be easier said than done. There's my string. And maybe one more time, just to make sure it stays. There, it's staying. Okay, we make a loop in here. We don't need it quite that big. That will be perfect. Oh, well, darn it. Try that again. Just trying an overhand knot. It's kind of hard to tie with this butcher's twine because it frays and it's hard to tell which rope's which. I'll have to tie it a little bit bigger just so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. There we go. Trim off my excess string, and there we go. Not too bad. I think it looks pretty nice. Now, I don't need all this at the top of it, so I'm going to go ahead and trim some of these off, probably right about here. Leave a couple of them a little bit longer in the back, just so it kind of looks kind of nice. And, am I in camera? Kinda. There we go. So that's it. That's it too. It's, like I said, it's a little bit easier process than braiding the stiff neck or the soft neck garlic. But I think it comes out pretty nice. I think it looks pretty good, and it's just real convenient. Just hang up and be able to clip your garlic off when you need to use it. All right, let me get this cleaned up a little bit and we'll come back and finish this video out. All right, and here is the finished product, both of them. The soft neck garlic all braided up here. You know, this would look better if you had some better looking garlic. The soft neck garlic didn't do that great. It was kind of, you know, not great big cloves. If you had bigger cloves, you could get a little bit better looking braid. But here's the stiff neck garlic. I kind of like this stiff neck garlic. I'm thinking about maybe just sticking with it and just using that only. I think these braids turn out really nice, all tied up like that. I think it'd look a little bit better if you used a natural color twine instead of a white twine, but I think that's going to be just fine. When it's hanging on the wall, you won't notice the twine at all. It'll just be hanging on the wall. But boy, I just hang these up on a screw in the wall or a nail in the wall. They sit right on the wall in the kitchen. Whenever you need a piece of garlic, you just go snip a piece of garlic off of it. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.